Hello, everyone. My name is Taylor Holliday, and I'm the managing partner of the Common Thread Collective.
My name's Jordan Palmer. I'm joining Taylor today, and I handle the business development efforts here at Common Thread Collective.
Today, we're going to walk you through a service presentation, just like we would to a potential client. And our hope is that we can distribute this to a broader community, garner feedback, and improve the way that we present our brand, and hopefully encounter some exciting new potential customers.
And we have a step-by-step process that we go through with brands, and so we thought it'd be helpful to go through that. But everything really starts with the mission. And at Common Thread Collective, we have a very crystal clear vision, and we are here to unite people of common purpose to power commerce. And if you think about that phrase, there's some powerful words there. Purpose is very important to us because as we grow our team and as we work with other teams, we have to have a clear definition of what that purpose is. And ultimately, we want to be judged on the amount of commerce that we've generated. And so our mission is to unite people of common purpose to power commerce.
We ultimately believe that the best marketing sells product. And so we always want to focus on that. And it's why we call ourselves an online sales agency. And the way that we think the best revenue gets generated is in the process of creating the highest lifetime customer value that you can. And we believe the way that you develop those really deep connections is when you can find the overlap of a brand with a meaningful purpose, a deep why behind their existence, and connect them to the customers who passionately care about that thing as well. And tell that story through influencers who also deeply, authentically care about the reason that you exist. And so that's ultimately what we're trying to help brands to identify and create in working with them.
In our agency, we want to be that common thread. And the first step in that process is to really, truly understand your brand. And we do this through conversation, but ultimately in answering these three questions. And the first one is, when we talk to the brand, what is their mission? And sometimes it's important for them to go through that exercise, for them to have a clear definition of what their mission is. The second thing is amongst our pool of resources that are available to us, what specific problem can we actually help you solve? And third is the big one, and that is what does success look like? Here we want to have a crystal clear definition of what success looks like. You know, I played football and I've used this before, but we ultimately, the only coach that I didn't like playing for was the one who said, "You're doing great, keep up the good work, boy, you keep it up, you're doing great. Bring me your playbook, you're fired." We want to know where we're at, and we want to have a clear definition of success that everybody is working towards.
And then once we understand who you are as a brand, we can begin to develop a profile around who is the customer that connects to that mission. And we do that by first coming in and doing a deep analysis of whatever existing customer data you have available, the emails of the customers that have purchased your product, the insights of the followers that you have in social media, looking at your Google Analytics to understand your customer flows, to really help to create an understanding of who your MVP is, your most valuable persona. When we think about identifying customers, we don't want to think about the total addressable market over the lifetime of the brand. We want to understand who are the early adopters and what are their attributes, interests, and key motivators. So we usually come in, and that's our core focus when we start. We can't overemphasize how important it is to have a really detailed, singular muse for your brand.
And once you've figured out exactly who that pool of customers are, then it's important for us to figure out which ambassador holds influence over that community. So on this slide, you'll see an example. There's a company on the left called Eat the Ball. Some of the founders of Red Bull from Austria started a disruptive, technologically advanced, new age, socially conscious bread company. They have the ability to emboss a logo and mold it into shapes, and they're taking on a behemoth of an industry in that bread. I mean, bread is as old as it gets. It's in the Bible. On the right, we see what we found is the ideal ambassador for that community of people. Russell Wilson is socially conscious. He's disruptive in the space, and the fact that he's 5'10". He was next, just like Eat the Ball wanted to be. When we signed Russell Wilson to this contract, it was after his rookie year before he'd won the Super Bowl. We also understand at Common Thread Collective that the two most important metrics in a customer purchasing something online is one, price, and two, a referral from somebody that they trust. And so we wanted to find an ambassador who was all of the things that matched up with Eat the Ball, but who also showed trust in everything that they did. And that's why this was a great partnership.
And then once we have that partnership in place, we have the internal team to develop engaging content. So whether that's web development, social media content, video production, sales tools, whatever the medium is by which we need to communicate to that customer, we have the ability to create really engaging content. And then from there, we really get to the magic and the core of what we are great at here at CTC. And that's the process of establishing targeted distribution and uber efficient sales funnels. So the example that I'll give you here is some work that we did with a client called Kalo, the makers of the functional wedding ring for the active life. When we started with them, we helped them to identify servicemen and women as a really core early adopter customer segment. And in analyzing the psychographics of that community, we found that they really only value opinions from within their own community. So in other words, a firefighter doesn't want to hear from a celebrity about what product he should use when walking into a burning building. He only wants to hear from fellow firefighters who are also laying their lives on the line. Makes total sense. So we went out and shot some fantastic photo and video content with the former Marine firefighter who owned a CrossFit gym, and had him talk about what courage meant to him and what it meant to be able to take his wife with him on duty for the first time. And then we distributed that content out to married firefighters between the ages of 25 and 55, drove them to a landing page with a really simple transaction process, testimonials from fellow firefighters. We formed a partnership with the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation, where a portion of the proceeds went back to the community that they existed in. And what you end up with is a very efficient sales funnel where for every dollar that we're spending in advertising in it, we're getting 2 or 3 back in revenue. And that's really at the core of what we want to do over and over and over again with each of our clients. Identify a target audience, create content to reach them, drive them to a really easy place to purchase, and then just analyze and test that funnel over and over and over again and continue to drive revenue. Sometimes we call ourselves digital day traders because in this process, the way that we start is by allocating budgets across these customer segments that we've created together, seeing which ones are responding best, refining that, reallocating the budget to the highest performing segments, and then scale. And that's what we do for brands over and over again.
You know, if you look at our team here at CTC, we have a lot of different backgrounds. A lot of us played sports at high levels and came from the brand side and or the agency side. And ultimately, what we believe is that when a brand can truly own its online business, it provides a lot of freedom. Not only does it provide the most margin, but it also provides the ability to have a positive effect at retail. And it gives you such a deep understanding of who your customer is and the ability to continue to market them, that ultimately this should help in every step of your process moving forward, whether that's new products, whether that's who to market, where to be, and as long as it's in line with your mission statement, as we are here, it provides you a lot of freedom as a brand.
So that's us. That's the Common Thread Collective and our story. Again, we would love for you guys to leave us comments, feedbacks, critiques, anything that can help us to improve this story. And if you're a brand that finds this interesting, we'd love to walk that road with you. We're passionate about helping entrepreneurs achieve their dreams. And we'd hope to hear from you soon. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.